Hi, welcome to SBF Sports Picks. We are the odds couple. He's Mike Brenner. I'm Peter Loshak. We're talking with Joe Gavazzi from JoeGavazziSports.com. Always gives great analysis. Even if he didn't give any picks, his just listening to him analyze this stuff, breaking it all down is
like listening to you, honestly.
Yes.
Your stuff like that. No, honestly,
that stuff could be okay too. Yeah, that's right.
Absolutely.
Joe Gavazzi. Right now, we're going to take a look at an NBA game. This is Wednesday afternoon. We're going to take a look at Minnesota and Portland tips on Thursday, and this is kind of interesting because, of course, Minnesota, out of the playoffs, but they're still scrapping. Thibodeau's trying to get the young guys to give as much as they can. ATS-wise, though, they haven't really been good. They've had some wins here and there, but they're actually at 2-7 ATS over their last 10. Portland, a totally different story. They got blown out by Utah in their last game, but before that had reeled off, I think, 7 covers in a row and have been really good, both straight up and ATS recently. And right now, the early line I'm seeing is Portland -6. I don't know. I don't really want to bet against Portland, but I don't really want to bet against Minnesota getting points either. Mike Brenner, what do you think?
Now, if I'm correct, is that game in Portland?
It's in Portland.
It's in Portland. All right. Well, there's a big factor that, I got to take into consideration, and it's Joseph Nurkic. All right. When they acquired him, that was what they needed. That was the spark plug. It was the height difference that they needed. It was the LaMarcus Aldridge, even a step better. And he didn't last too long. He's got the broken leg issue. He's gone. They're going to feel that in this game. And you said it. You nailed it. Thibodeau's got these kids believing. So they don't care if they're on the road or it doesn't matter where they're at. Last night, for a minute there, they were giving Golden State a hard time, right? Am I correct?
They lost. No, they got blown out.
No, early, though. Early,
yeah.
It wasn't necessarily a blowout. I mean, they were playing tight. I just think Portland's not in the spot that they can blow this team out. Although Portland needs this win. They need to get the win, and if they're going to do it, I think they would want to blow them out. For me, 10-foot pole, no doubt about it, but I know one thing. Joseph Nurkic, that loss, even though it was, only a couple weeks I got to enjoy it, it's going to be a big factor.
All right, Minnesota getting 6. Joe Gavazzi, what do you think?
As we transition into the NBA from the college basketball season, we must go back and touch on the video from last week. And Peter, I'm certainly sorry you missed this. You were out last week. Yeah. But I was on the line for 20,000. Mike, fortunately, very graciously chose to be 10,000 a part of that. So I want to thank you for that, Mike. And the object of the wager was that my assistant, Nava, chose to risk $100 at the start of the NCAA playoffs with a payoff of 200 to 1, betting that South Carolina would win the NCAA. Now, of course, the Gamecocks came within 2 victories of doing that and came quite a scare in the Final Four of winning a 5th game straight up as an underdog. Of course, that didn't happen, and it looked like my 20,000 was safe. That was until Nava claimed victory when the South Carolina ladies team actually won the women's Final Four and completed the trifecta of South Carolina Palmetto State teams winning the College World Series in June last year with the men's Major League Baseball, the Clemson Tigers in college football, and then the South Carolina ladies women winning the NCAA. I don't know how we're getting out of this 20,000, Mike, but I'm not going to ask you for any more than 10.
All right.
I love you, Joe, but you know what? I'll have to jump in the bus with you, and that was absolutely amazing. And to have Connecticut get their streak stopped to make all that happen, and you know what? Nava deserves it. Good things happen to great people, so I'm glad. And Pete picked a hell of a Wednesday to take off because he would have been in for 33% of it had he had been here.
Oh, yeah, for sure. He would have been happy to do that, too. Let's turn our attention back to this game between the Minnesota Timberwolves and the Portland Trail Blazers. I'm going to call it RBR/BBL. And, of course, what that means is right back revenge for the Portland Trail Blazers coming off back-to-back losses. Portland was steaming into the week 14-5 straight up. Mike, you touched on it. Nurkic was a great addition for them, and they will struggle if they make the playoffs without him. Denver hot on their heels. But there should be ample motivation after they lost Monday to Minnesota by a point and then lost to Utah on Tuesday night. Now they have 2 days of rest to come back home and focus on that right-back revenge off back-to-back losses. Minnesota went crazy on the interior Monday night, especially Karl Anthony Towns, when he went for 34 and 12. No Nurkic in the middle, remember. Minnesota will give it their all, but they are out of the playoffs, and Portland playing a very critical game with an emotional edge of that recent revenge and the back-to-back losses. I like the Blazers here to make a statement, using their stronger perimeter game to get the job done behind McCollum and Lillard.
Wow. All right. -6. 6 is kind of a lot of points, but that makes sense to me. Mike Brenner, what do you think?
Well, you know what? Even though Thibodeau has these kids, I wants them to play till the very last game. They're young. And Karl Anthony Towns, he's the real deal. Him and Wiggins are going to be a force to be reckoned with. But I got a feeling, Pete, now we're creeping down to 4 and 3 games left. They might be getting tired on the road, going to Portland. Portland's had 2 days, that right back revenge, another category just like you. You guys, you two come up with categories like it's nobody's business. I think you might be right there, and I think Portland might be a sharp play also early and often in that game.
All right. Well, over the past 10 games, Portland has definitely been a great bet, and Minnesota has definitely been a great fade. So maybe those two trends hold in this one as well. Joe Gavazzi from JoeGavazziSports.com. Tell us about your website.
JoeGavazziSportsItIs.com. And I want you to take a moment to read the bio up there, find out a little bit about me. And along with my analysis, maybe you can make a choice about whether you'd like to follow some of my selections. This has been Joe Gavazzi from JoeGavazziSports.com, wishing you guys all the best.
All right. Thanks, Joe.
Thanks, Joe, as always.
Well, this episode of The Odds Couple is over. But if you give us a like and click SBR's logo at the bottom of the screen to subscribe, then you'll get all the upcoming videos as soon as they come out. And don't forget to take advantage of our website. There's free picks, live betting lines, and sportsbook reviews and ratings guides, and a whole lot more. Check it out now.